Today, we're counting down the 10 greatest fighter aircraft of World War II, from impressive warbirds to the fighter many historians believe became the ultimate air superiority machine. Number 10. Mitsubishi A6M-0. When the Mitsubishi Zero first appeared in the skies over the Pacific, Allied pilots were stunned. It could turn tighter, climb faster, and fly farther than almost any fighter it faced during the early years of the war. Japanese pilots used its incredible maneuverability to dominate the skies throughout 1941 and 1942. But the Zero's greatest strength was also its greatest weakness. To achieve such remarkable performance, engineers sacrificed pilot protection. The aircraft lacked armor plating and self-sealing fuel tanks. As a result, even a small amount of enemy fire could cause catastrophic damage. Once Allied pilots developed tactics that avoided turning battles and instead relied on speed and diving attacks, the Zero's advantages quickly disappeared. What began as one of the most feared fighters of the war gradually became outdated as newer Allied aircraft arrived. Number 9. Hawker Hurricane. The Hurricane rarely receives the same attention as the Spitfire, yet it played a crucial role during Britain's darkest hours. During the Battle of Britain, Hurricanes accounted for a large portion of German aircraft destroyed. While Spitfires often engaged German fighters, Hurricanes were frequently assigned the difficult task of attacking bomber formations. The aircraft wasn't particularly glamorous. It was slower than some of its rivals and incorporated older construction methods. However, it was reliable, easy to repair, and extremely effective in combat. At a time when Britain desperately needed fighters in the air, the Hurricane delivered exactly what was required. Number 8. Messerschmitt Bf-109. Few fighters had a longer or more influential combat career than the Bf-109. Introduced before the war, it quickly established itself as one of the most capable fighters in the world. Throughout the conflict, it served on virtually every front where Germany fought. The aircraft was fast, heavily armed, and continuously upgraded. Many of Germany's highest-scoring fighter aces achieved their victories while flying the Bf-109. Yet it wasn't perfect. Its narrow landing gear made takeoffs and landings notoriously difficult. Pilots often complained about the cramped cockpit and limited visibility. Even so, the Bf-109 remained a dangerous opponent until the final days of the war. Number 7. Lockheed P-38 Lightning. Unlike any fighter of its era, the P-38 Lightning stood out immediately thanks to its distinctive twin-boom design. Powered by 2 engines and equipped with exceptional long-range capability, it became one of America's most versatile aircraft. The P-38 gained worldwide fame after the mission that intercepted and eliminated Japanese Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto, an architect of the Pearl Harbor attack. Its concentration of weapons in the nose provided excellent accuracy, while its range made it ideal for operations across the vast Pacific Ocean. However, pilots operating in Europe often struggled with mechanical issues at high altitudes and extremely cold temperatures. Despite these challenges, the Lightning remains one of the most recognizable fighters ever built. Number 6. Focke-Wulf FW-190. When the FW-190 entered combat, Allied pilots were shocked by its performance. Fast, rugged, and heavily armed, it immediately challenged the dominance of existing Allied fighters. Compared to the Bf-109, it offered better cockpit ergonomics, stronger landing gear, and devastating firepower. The aircraft excelled in low and medium altitude combat and could also perform ground attack missions with remarkable effectiveness. Its arrival forced Britain to accelerate development of improved Spitfire variants. Any aircraft capable of forcing an enemy to redesign its own fighters deserves a place among the war's elite. Number 5. Republic P-47 Thunderbolt. Massive, powerful, and incredibly durable, the P-47 Thunderbolt looked more like a flying engine than a traditional fighter. It was one of the heaviest single-engine fighters ever built during the war. The Thunderbolt could absorb extraordinary battle damage and still bring its pilot home. Numerous combat reports describe aircraft returning with severe structural damage that would have destroyed lighter fighters. At high altitude, its turbo-supercharged engine delivered exceptional speed and performance. Later in the war, the P-47 also became one of the most effective ground attack aircraft in Europe, destroying vehicles, trains, and military infrastructure on a massive scale. It may not have been elegant, but it was devastatingly effective. Number 4. Supermarine Spitfire. No British fighter is more iconic than the Spitfire. Its beautiful elliptical wings became one of the most recognizable shapes of the entire war. But the Spitfire was far more than a beautiful aircraft. It evolved continuously throughout the conflict, receiving more powerful engines, improved weapons, and upgraded performance. From the Battle of Britain to the final months of the war, new variants kept the aircraft competitive against every major enemy fighter. Pilots praised its responsiveness and agility, often describing it as one of the finest handling aircraft ever created. The Spitfire became a symbol of British resistance and remains one of history's greatest aviation achievements. Number 3. Vought F4U Corsair. The Corsair was instantly recognizable thanks to its distinctive inverted gull wings. Powered by a massive engine, it combines speed, firepower, and durability into one formidable package. Early carrier operations proved difficult due to visibility and landing challenges, leading many Corsairs to operate from island airfields rather than aircraft carriers. Once pilots mastered the aircraft, however, its combat effectiveness became undeniable. Throughout the Pacific War, the Corsair achieved an extraordinary combat record against Japanese aircraft. Even after World War II ended, it continued serving in combat during the Korean War, demonstrating just how capable the design truly was. Number 2. Grumman F-6F Hellcat. If one aircraft broke the power of Japanese naval aviation, it was the Hellcat. Designed specifically to counter threats encountered in the Pacific, the Hellcat combined excellent protection, strong firepower, and reliable performance. It was forgiving for inexperienced pilots, yet deadly in combat. As American carrier groups pushed across the Pacific, the Hellcat became their primary air superiority fighter. During major battles such as the Philippine Sea, it helped inflict devastating losses on Japanese air forces. By the end of the war, the Hellcat had accumulated more aerial victories than any other Allied naval fighter. An extraordinary achievement by any standard. Number 1. North American P-51 Mustang. At the top of the list stands the aircraft many experts considered the most influential fighter of World War II. The P-51 Mustang combined speed, range, firepower, and maneuverability in a way few aircraft could match. Its greatest contribution was solving one of the Allies' biggest strategic problems. Before the Mustang arrived in large numbers, Allied bombers often lacked protection deep inside enemy territory. The Mustang changed everything. Equipped with external fuel tanks, it could escort bombers all the way to Germany and back, while still retaining the performance needed to defeat enemy fighters. German pilots suddenly found themselves facing Allied escorts wherever they flew. The aircraft not only protected bomber formations, but also attacked airfields, transportation networks, and military targets across occupied Europe. By the final stages of the war, the Mustang had become one of the most important weapons in the Allied arsenal. Its combination of range, combat effectiveness, and strategic impact places it at the very top of World War II fighter history. These were the 10 greatest fighter aircraft of World War II. Some were agile dogfighters, others were rugged survivors. A few changed the course of the war itself. But which fighter do you think deserves the number 1 spot? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this ranking, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more aviation history videos.